Sí, nada más así.
I think it might. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be that. I know my parents will get reimbursed in jail, but at least if you
That looks like it's gonna choke.
No heads, the cancer. It's only certain See what I mean?
like 10 times.
Es el polvo, es el polvo, el polvo. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in.
Come on, you guys.
You want them to write first name first.
Yeah, first, last, print. Print. Graduates, we need you in. Come on. Ladies, come on. Last name. First name, last name, print it. First name, last name. Print first.
Look at you.
Here we go. Print first name, last name. Print first name, last name. Well, as you can see, some of the stuff that
went on. This is the stuff that's been more hurtful than anything else, because it took us a while, since we're in the inner city, it took us a while to get these computers. And so, I mean, you know, most likely we're going to be able to clean them and get them working okay. It's just, you know, it's sad to see that the computers have been damaged. And so that's a difficult thing to deal with the computers. And then, as you can see, they also, I had to erase some of the racial slurs that they put in there, because a couple of days ago it started some problems in the school. Some of the Mexican and African American gangs that have been fighting. So I did those, but I wanted to keep this in the room because I wanted my students to feel what I was feeling. This is a personal thing, that the damage that was done in this room is something that not only affects me, but affects us all. And as you can see, I mean, these are my computers with the, you know, some of the screens are so bad that you can't even see them. And I'll just turn that one off for the effect so you can see. And then, you know, it's they crossed out my name, so I knew that it wasn't a personal issue here. And then, you know, the profanity that's on the floor. And this was, you know, directed towards black people. And what happened is that one of the students has made several racial comments, and I've caught him on it. And that's why I think he's the person who was involved. And I told him that's not acceptable in my classroom. And then you can see over here, a colleague here, and you can see what's been done to the room. A couple of students have volunteered and want to clean this afternoon and get the class ready. But it has been a difficult week last week to see this, and even for my own, I've been through some soul searching and wondering, you know, what do I do next? And I mean, this is not, I mean, teachers have probably had worse. It's just, I guess it's my first time, and feeling that connection with my students. And so I never thought this would happen. But you see it here. There's that ugliness.
Fucked up over here. I got all of this shit.
So last game, very beat up. We started with 21 players. We're down to 12 on varsity and 14 on JV. So we're running on fumes. Injuries have killed us. Lack of cohesiveness has killed us. But if we knock out Warren today, it'll make our season. So, what can I say? Live and learn. Go Dominguez.
I don't blame your parents. I didn't let my son go out.
So when he was what age?
He's 16. How old are you?
14.
Oh, wait a minute.
But I go to the parties with my cousins. They're older.
I don't care. I don't care. Your cousin's not going to be with you.
Yeah, he takes care of us.
He
does.
No.
Chicano milk. Chicano. See, brown milk. Gang milk. Red and blue. Crips and blood.
As a coach, I think he's there for us. Nobody has been there for us. Ms. Gonzalez, Mr. Cano, and Mr. Gallegos have been there for us. Something that not anyone has really wanted to do.
Well, Ms. Gonzalez, I know. She sacrifices a lot of time away from her family. She does spend a lot of time out here getting the equipment, transportation, doing fundraisers, a lot of other things that takes a lot of time away from her family, you know.
One time when one young lady was supposed to go to college, and she was a top player, and I don't know what happened, and she ended up pregnant. She came back and brought me her little girl. Then she said, "But don't worry, Miss G, I'm going back to school because I know you had hopes for me, and I'm not going to let you down." We talked for a long time, and that's all she focused, that I had meant something to her during her time here, and that all she could remember is for me to telling her to finish school no matter what.
No, la voy a sacar y le hablas, eh?
Graciela,
Looking good, Lisa.
I was talking to Smile.
We actually had to pay kids' insurance this year out of our own pocket, our own fundraiser. We bought a couple players' shoes. We're going to need to buy another player's shoes because they just don't have the money. A couple parents will say, well, we'll risk it going without insurance, but you can't. So we pay for the insurance through our own little fundraising. And, if it wasn't for the uniforms that we were able to get this year, they would have had to buy their own. Where are you going to get money for uniforms? So it's a self-esteem issue. You got to look good. It helps you play a little bit more, I think, if you look good and you feel better. So we don't know.
There's a lot of teachers who care, and where one doesn't try, there's two or three. I work closely with them, and like any school, there's some teachers who really, to me, don't care. They're not here for the students, for their education, but then where there's one, there's three or four who take the time to contact the parent, to give that extra help, to see if Johnny or Mary need an extra help or attention. Maybe they see that they have a problem at home, because I see that happens a lot here at the school.
And how is Dominguez unique amongst high schools?
It's the hood. Is that what you mean? It's the hood? It's our kids come from families that don't make as much money. Our kids often have a single parent home or are in foster care. Our kids are often speaking Spanish at home, so English is their second language. And our kids probably come more often from parents who have not been to college and earned a higher degree.
I'll be honest, I think that unfortunately, I don't know if it's, probably some of it is, being a relatively new teacher, but I think that it's also maybe the environment itself. I have seen a lot of kids succeed, in quotes, meaning that they either improve their grades or they're doing well socially or they continue to get good grades. But I think the vast majority of those cases are cases where those students basically would have done well in most environments. So these are kids that know how to study. They study on a regular basis. I haven't seen that much change. I haven't seen kids who have gone from 0 to 60. I haven't seen kids who have, turned themselves around entirely.
Well, you look at, for example, Latino students. It's a known fact that 50% of our Latino students will drop out before they reach I believe the 10th grade. So half the students will drop out. Drop out with no education, no job skills, nothing. So what are they going to make? Minimum wage? Mm-hmm. So the cycle of poverty, the cycle of violence, the cycle of substance abuse continues because education allows you to see beyond that.
School is the only one thing that I know of anyway, that can provide opportunities for kids who otherwise don't have opportunities. If they come from poor families, if they come from working class families, the only thing that's going to give them an opportunity in life to achieve their career goals, etc., what have you, is if there's a tremendous effort at the level of education. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. I know a lot of kids out there in all my classes, and I'm telling you, personally, because I've heard it. They want to be lawyers. They want to be doctors. They want to be judges. They see those things on TV. But I know that it's not going to happen.
I don't think Dominguez is that different from most schools. I mean, everyone's always talking about nostalgically what used to be, what it was in my day or something like that.
The history of this school district is interesting. When I graduated in 1961, the Compton School District was the number 5 ranked school district in the United States of America, academically, number 5 in the nation. The school had tremendous resources. The district had tremendous resources because it was a predominantly white district. It was 85% white at that particular point in time. The quality of education was excellent. Things began to change, I would say, towards the 60s, mid to late 60s, when the first insurrection happened. A lot of people started to move out of Compton, particularly because Compton was beginning to integrate. When the white populace left, all the resources were left with it. The tax base left with it. The businesses closed because they took their businesses to Orange County and other places. Okay, now, understanding that the tax base, a lot depends on the quality of education is based on that tax base. So when they left, when they pulled up stakes.
Actually, we receive the same per dollar amount per pupil as any other student in any other school within the state of California. In fact, we received extra federal and state funding, categorical funding for specialized programs which are designed to assist students who need help, particularly in the area of reading and mathematics. So we do have some types of fundings that other school systems, in fact, do not have.
If I had to walk through 2 and 3 gang territories to get to high school, because my high school decided that it wasn't going to supply buses for me, to get to school, I don't know whether I'd do that. I don't know whether I'd walk through 3 gang territories every morning and then come here and for us to expect these children to be calm and cool and collected. Just walking through 3 gang territories to get here. We have to grow up as adults. We have to realize that our children will be better when we are. I mean, that's the whole deal. Our children will be better when we are.
What's your perception of white people? Like, do you interact with them a lot?
You want to know what I feel about them? I think they're too exaggerated on anything. It's like anything. I think too exaggerated. I mean, I think they're cool. They're nice. Mostly they're nice, but too exaggerated.
All right, we'll expand on that. What does exaggerated mean?
Like if they see something, I'll be like, oh my God, like that's so cool, like for around the world. Yeah, I got that from my friend. She was in Anaheim. She went for a while. And that's mostly how they talked.
They're like quirky. I don't know. They're dumb because they think it's easy to say to another person, oh look, in your school like 3 people died, and we're like, oh, I'm sorry, no they didn't, they were just injured.
You wouldn't be incorrect in saying that some of our students have never met a Caucasian, they never met somebody who's white. You wouldn't be incorrect. Many of our students haven't. When you came, it's like, okay, we have them here because they stay within their own community, their own boundaries, because it's safe. B, because when they step out of those boundaries in those communities, they sense the perception that they are not welcome, that they're out of place. C is also internal. You look at it and say, well, I am being told that wonderful, they don't like us. Well, who is they? So they also buy into the concept that the outside world doesn't want them, doesn't need them, and doesn't like them, and they never identify them with they, so they also buy into it and stay within their own communities and very, very insulated, very, very insulated. It's kind of sad.
I guess in my culture, like a lot of people are just like, oh, well, why do white folks have to be in an office working in an air-conditioned office or whatever, and we're over here working as a janitor. So it's like a reputation, I guess. Like, all white people go to college and they have careers, and that's why they're there. And Mexican people or black people, they tend not to. They're lazy and stuff. So it's just a matter of, I guess, the stereotype that you grow up with.
I went to UC Santa Cruz the past summer. This lady came for the Mesa program, and she said that there was a summer program, and I was interested. Like, oh, you can study astronomy, and I was like, well, I'll go. We had to write 5 essays and send in our transcripts, so I got accepted. And you could get a scholarship or pay for the trip, and I got the scholarship, so I went. And then they asked me where I came from, and I was like, oh, well, I'm from Dominguez High School. And they're like, oh my gosh, you're from Dominguez High School. And I was like, yeah, it's a regular high school. Like, is there a lot of shooting there? I was like, are you okay? No, there isn't. And there were white people, and I was like, oh, they just don't know. They're just scared to come here, I guess. And I was like, well, I'll just leave them alone and just go to another table. But it was funny. I just thought it was funny.
I'm a part of Upper Brown program. There's a lot of white kids there. I mean, but I don't really know anybody.
And you can even see it every time. Last year, we went to a soccer game, and then the guys were trying to talk to me. And then as soon as they asked what school was I coming home from, what city, and I said Dominguez and Compton, they just walked away. They're like, oh my God, just walked away. And I don't blame them. It's just it's bad. Compton's bad.
Well, why don't you blame them? I mean,
because it's like, I'm pretty sure they don't want to deal with drugs, gangs, all that stuff. It's just like, and I'm also kind of used to it, so it don't matter.
They can probably come here a day and try to walk around or take a class here and try to see what it's really like. I can probably go over there and see what it's like. Then I can stop saying, oh no, they're quirky or they're this. That's all we can really do.
So it's both internal, how you look at your world, and how your world looks at you. Some of it is real, some of it is imagined, some of them somebody shared on. So that I always get the students always say, well, they don't like us. Well, who is they? Give them a name. Well, white people. What do you mean? How many white people have you met? How many have you talked to? How many have you broke bread with? Those type of things you try to debunk so they also can explore beyond their boundaries.
Goes around and stamps them off. And I need to see the parent signature stamp so parents know their child has homework.
Teaching is important so that we can enlighten people, we can empower students. There is nothing greater than having the ability to be able to figure out something, to find out your own personal knowledge and have that knowledge affect somebody else, affect something else.
Today, because I know what they did today. I made up the agenda. So it's, what did you learn today?
I've always known that I wanted to deal with kids. I started out wanting to be a doctor, and I was good in science.
If you don't like kids, please don't go into teaching. If you don't like kids, or if you don't, if you're just doing it for a paycheck, just to hold you over till your real job, happens, then don't go into teaching because you're doing more damage than good.
I didn't feel that it fulfilled my cultural calling, to say the least, and so. I looked into teaching as something where I could counsel and also deal with kids.
With the students who are just doing superficial, and I tell them, I'm very honest and open about it. I say, you're still writing at the level that you came in with, which means what, 8th grade? Supposedly 8th grade level? Is that what you want to do? You want to move on to 10th grade with your little 8th grade skills, or do you want to make some serious advances in your learning?
When I get up in the morning, I have no problems. There's never a time where I'm like, oh, I don't want to go to work. I always want to go to work.
But it's something that they need to look at and be honest with as well. Because it's not, oh, I turned in my work, I should get an A. It's,
oh, you turn in your work on time, we could talk about a C, and I'll show you how to get it to an A.
High school graduation diploma is not going to suffice anymore, and yet we haven't made any strides to really help those percentages. And the more and more people and students that we have that fall into this demographic of minority or inner city child or what have you, means that we're losing a valuable resource. And to not tap into it is doing such a disservice.
If you come with the attitude of, I don't care what school it is, they're going to do the work. I don't care if I were in an all-white school, Whitney or whatever, Beverly Hills, I don't care, Montebello, wherever. They're still going to do the same assignments that I would assign if I worked at that school. That's how I am. That's how I think. They're still going to do them. I'm not watering down.
Kids, when they come into the classroom, they learn how to overcome obstacles. They learn how to think for themselves. They learn how to make decisions. They learn how to solve problems. They learn how to communicate.
And if you come to an inner city school that has 60% Latinos, 39% African American students, and 1% Samoan students, and you already know it's an inner city school, if you come with the attitude of, oh, I'm coming here working with poor kids, and 70% are in foster homes, and you're already coming with that attitude.
And I don't want to start getting into stereotypes, but nevertheless, when we start categorizing mishaps or malbehavior and determining which one is more or less, then I think we start acting as if we're on a higher level or plane, and none of us are there.
Teachers who say this isn't a real school, they need to either retire or they need to go work somewhere else, because the kids can pick that up. When you don't like your job, the kids can pick that up. You should be excited about your job, and when you drive to school, that's when you should be smiling, because, oh, I can hardly wait to get to school.
Teaching is one of the most powerful occupations out there, and I am a little tired of hearing people say that it is one of the most underrated professions in the world or in our country, because in other parts of the world it is actually held in high esteem. If that's the case, then why aren't we doing anything about it? It's like saying black people in the 1940s should have equal rights and then not speaking up when somebody's lynched. I almost look at it as a slap in the face. If you're not willing to do anything about it, I don't want to hear the rhetoric. Don't talk about it. Let's just keep moving, because I'm here. I'm going to be doing it regardless of whatever I'm paid and whatever other people think and whatever other people do, because it's our children that are being affected.
I mean, look at these photos over here. These are former students, and they give me these pictures. Some of them, they give me pictures during the school year. 2 just came back last week. They're at UC, Santa Cruz, and UC Berkeley. They just graduated last year. And anyone who walks in that door, they always know that they have to speak to my classes.
When one child succeeds, then that child can help so many others. That child can become a teacher. That child can become a psychologist.
I have a heart-to-heart talk with the class, and I think kids need that. You haven't even met the 17-year-old you that might want to go to college. You haven't even met the 18-year-old you that might want to go to university, and you haven't even met the 49-and-a-half-year-old you that wishes you'd have gone to college. So you could have a better life for yourself and for your kids. So you could be a better example for your son. You don't want to, what are you going to say when your son says, why do I have to go to high school? You didn't finish. What are you going to say then? And then also, what about your daughter? What kind of a boy do you want to end up with your daughter? Do you want just anyone to? No. So you have to look at yourself like that too. Because you will have kids. Oh, I'm not going to have kids. No, you will have kids. So you think right now with your little 14-year-old brain that this is the end of it. And you don't know me, and you're just barely meeting me, and And why should you listen to me? It's because I'm telling you as a 49-and-a-half-year-old woman that you're going to continue to live. Life is going to continue happening to you, or you're going to take a more active role in life and have more control over your life.
I look around here and I see a lot of unsung heroes. And it's even difficult for me because of my time constraint and my resources or lack thereof to really acknowledge that and to make it substantial. Whereas through the the community, through the administration, through the state of California, some type of recognition. I don't know. I know a lot of people advocate for higher pay, but I think that there needs to be more recognition. Case in point, we've had a couple of activities here in Dominguez. We just had a La Raza festival or whatever. I don't know if you got any film on that.
Lily is the only person that's going to talk to you besides me. If something changes, like we're running out of time, she'll tell you, Mr. Sales, skip this, and you just cross the line, okay?
No doubt.
People have to stop and say, well, you know what? Yeah, I live 60 miles away from Compton, so I'm not worried about what happens in Compton at Dominguez High School. But when you have kids that drop out, can they affect you down there? Sure enough, because those students not lacking the necessary skills to survive in this society will turn to those things that will continue to affect our society. Crime, violence, drugs. So everybody should be caring about what happens in education. Whether you're in suburbia or in the inner city, you should care and get involved.
All you have to do is tell them to go all the way to the end, and we're going to put people here. They're not going to send you until the end.
With every young mind, with every young spirit, there's the opportunity to grow and blossom. But you don't see them next year. Or you hear about them, or you see them on the streets. You see the kids who are struggling to make it, don't want to make it, and they eliminate themselves. After a while, they're not here. And you wonder what happened to them, but we know they're not here. They were either expelled, they dropped down, and just look at the Latino student population in general. 50% drop out before they reach the 11th grade, 10th or 11th grade. Half of those students drop out. What happened to them? Where did we lose them? Did they go to work? Did they get involved in gangs? Did they get caught up in drugs? Are they in alternative education? That's a lot of students to be losing year in and year out, and you wonder. But again, as a teacher, I can't just focus on that. I have to focus on the students who are here. Last year I had 7 young ladies approach me that they were pregnant. And he's like, oh boy, half of those young ladies, the gentleman was older than 28, and they were in their 30s. So the quagmire of issues that evolve, you cannot get caught up in it because they will suck you up and you will become an ineffective teacher.
Please join me in giving a warm welcome from the pride of Compton, the Dominguez High School Band.
When it comes to the riots and the fighting, it's sheer ignorance. There's no longer the gangs involved, and they started this. To a certain extent, it still is. The gang started and evolves into this huge fight. 40 kids, where students are running to see the fight rather than run away from the fight. Students run to see the fight, to see the violence, and it creates a mayhem and so chaotic here, where you got police on grounds, you have students being thrown around, teachers being thrown around, and it's very, very hard. It's way less than it used to be because we jump into the solution as teachers to stop it. Sheer ignorance. Gang involved, you start, we don't like them, they don't like us, and they jump on kids, and everybody has to side with the color of their skin or their appearance. And it can get pretty frightening. If you've never seen that, I hope nobody sees that. Struggling here, day by day, month by month, year by year, and it continues because that cycle is allowed to continue. Teaching is it's fun and it's a privilege in a way, because I believe you have to be a very healthy individual, a very prepared individual, a very energetic individual to come here every day and share knowledge, express knowledge so that it creates question, so that it creates discussion, so that it creates dreams, so that it creates hope. You have to come there, and you have to be a special person, not only to teach, but to teach in the inner city, to teach at a place like Dominguez, and in places where it's that much difficult because of the myths and the stereotypes that come with it. Some of those stereotypes are true, some of them are not. But regardless, it takes a special, unique individual to come in and say, I'm willing to take a chance, and I'm willing to ride it out no matter how hard I get rode on by administrators, no matter how difficult some students make it. I'm just going to ride through it to show them that I'm here for them. So it takes a unique individual to do that. And if you're out there, you're next. Come on down.
Corazón.
Corazón. Corazón.
Pregunta, ojo.
¿Cuáles palabras?
Espérate, acá primero y luego tú.
Que la que empezó esta tradición, si no se ya viene desde generaciones atrás,
Sí.
y no solo con la
Ahora
madre.
respáldalo con un ejemplo de. You don't have to care because it doesn't affect you, but it will affect you when this population heads on uneducated to the workforce. This population heads on uneducated to jails. All this happens because of lack of education. Many societal influence come about, of course, but we have to take a stance and say, no, that student is a student first and foremost in a school. Which a school is a school is a school. There are many differences. So thus they should have the same opportunity as little Tim in Timbuktu, little Tim in Westwood, little Tim in East LA, little Tim in Compton. Should all have the same opportunity to learn. We should all care about that because it's education. I'm a teacher, I care.
Bravo, Marta, bravo.
Make a lot more money somewhere else, but is that what I want to do? Nah, teaching's not about money. We're going to die happy and we're going to die poor. I teach at a college level. I don't accept any excuses. I don't need excuses. I'm hard. I give too much work. I challenge them. I challenge them not to fall into the Compton myth of I can't achieve. I can't go to college. Yes, sir.
If you all need help with anything, let us know. The senior class know, because you know we have a lot of people graduating and they want some stuff to happen. So if you guys need some help with anything.
What we do in May is we do. The Compton myth is a violent place, horrible place. I come to work every day with bulletproof vests and a couple machine guns. Bad kids, all of them in gangs, drugs, pregnant, and they're not getting anywhere. And that we're a poor district. By no means we're a poor district. The reality is we haven't had teachers who push students to achieve, to learn. The reality is that money has not been appropriated adequately and to help students achieve. So we're never pushing the boundaries. We're always, it's a stereotype. We fall in a stereotype as teachers as well. Poor Compton kid can't learn. So thus I'm going to give them a grade that is not adequate and measurable to other districts or university, that it's just not. It doesn't equate. You know, you need to push them to ask more. Yeah, kids suffer a lot here. You know, I got disaster stories. I got students who come who are in foster homes. I got students who come whose parents been murdered, brother been murdered. I mean, just recently, you know, I got a student who's run from his corner. He's had 2 murders on the past 2 weekends. So the reality is there, it happens, and it's tragedy. But, so what? What are you going to do about it? It's also a myth of what students believe. You know, they believe in the Compton myth that they're not worth it. So thus they don't achieve or aspire to be. We don't have any dreamers. We don't have kids who want to aspire for greatness. So I'm here to instill that in them. The average stay for a teacher here is 1 to 3 years, and they move on to a better district, quote, that pays them more money. Because if you can teach in Compton, you can teach anywhere, is the way they look at it. You've been through the war, not only administratively, but through the students, and they recruit Compton teachers. So thus you go into a more affluent neighborhood where they're going to pay you better, where you're going to have less headaches. But, God, boy, you're giving up your soul. I would feel, not critiquing any of my colleagues, I would feel like I'm losing my soul. I'm losing myself to go somewhere for more money for other students where I would feel I'm not needed. I'm needed here. I know that. I know that for a fact. I know that deep down inside, to help students to aspire first and foremost.
Well, so what's the first thing you're going to do when you graduate?
Right now, he's gonna get mad if he sees this. I'm gonna stay home. I don't think I'm going to college. I don't know. Don't show it to him.
So what are you going to do?
I'll probably just lay back.
Failure is not built in, but failure is accepted, and thus we buy into that. Poor kids, they suffer so much that we need to make it not so difficult for them to achieve their educational goals, and that's wrong. Failure is not built in. Failure is a decision. You know, each person, if you look at the man selling oranges on the corner, he has a decision to make. Do I sell these oranges to feed myself and my family, or do I sell drugs? Okay, that's his decision. So if he wants to sell drugs, then he's going down a path of failure. Joining a gang is a decision. So if he join a gang and the results that happen come and you don't like them, well, you made a decision to fail. And it's not built in. We all make a decision. So it's getting students to believe that and to know that. Ya pues. Antes de que siga el siguiente acento, la doble C. We have had this year approximately 4, but we would consider racial riots, big riots, 40, 50 people fighting, people getting severely beat, people getting severely hurt. And we're able to see them before, during, and after, and it's like, what are we doing? To this day, we haven't done any positive solutions. The result of classes been broken in twice, thousands of dollars of damage, stolen stuff because I refuse to, you know, I don't care what the skin of your color is wrong. Gotten hit, let's see, gotten threatened, many things. But it just gets real tense. So personally, it just affects me in a sense of ignorance. So we like to have discussion, and I talk to other teachers that we need to have dialogues within our classroom so that we are able to stop these things. But you do as much as you can. Well, I don't get hurt. I just don't like people getting hurt, so I get involved.
I've never seen so many police cars on campus before, like the buses and everything after people fight. And I remember the news helicopter was around our school for some fighting or something. I never seen people break into classroom and spray paint on everything. I don't feel comfortable going to school here because the fact that everything's spread apart, and everywhere you turn, it's like dirt. it's dirty and everything else.
And everybody call D the dirty D, basically. You shouldn't, everybody know. Because it's a big dust mite school. That's all you find is dust. If you walk outside, you got your little fresh shoes on, they white, you gonna leave this school with beige shoes. Not white, but beige. So it's like,
I think they should get maybe new faculty members, like as in teachers, because some teachers really just don't care about their students or, you know, their problems. Okay, that's enough. So everything's pretty much crazy. I go home like, Mom, the craziest thing happened. She's like, what is that? You already told me something crazy. I'm like, well, this is crazier and everything else. Probably when they just slashed the principal's tires for fun. I was like, wow. That's pretty crazy.
I sleep with my eyes open. No, I seen you sleep. You never sleep with your eyes open. No, you don't.
Tied with our worst record in league, which is 1-9. That was the bad.
I don't want to get jumped.
I didn't want to get jumped. You should have seen me. I was running.
That's why,
I was
because you were running towards it, not back.
5. I was trying to run to the front and I couldn't.
I wonder why. What were you scared of?
Okay, we want to get a score. Line it up, varsity. You are not putting on perfume. I am coaching girls soccer when a girl is putting on perfume. So muy orgulloso, very proud to have been head coach this year. At times it was very stressful. At times it was a lot of fun. But never once was I ashamed to be your head coach. I care sometimes more than more. Y se me sale. I think I'm very proud of you. I'm glad to see the way you guys grew. And we got a long way to go, but I think we're starting something, and it begins here. Livia, I swear to God, if you wind up pregnant within a year, I'm gonna shoot that boy. I'm gonna go cut off his wee-wee, okay? The only thing is, I still believe in my heart that there was not a better team than us this year. We just need more practice. We just need more work, and we're gonna kick some tails next year. Next year, I want the seniors to come back, and I want them to see us celebrate. I want them to see us, okay? Always stand up for what you, even when I disagree with some of you, I respected your right to stand up for what you believe in. I do. Even if you're wrong, I respect your right to stand up and believe, because that's the way you learn about life. Mariana, you had your hand up? Okay, going once? No?
We have to stay watch the game, right?
Huh? Yeah.
Go to the
Why?
restroom.
Jack in the box, who's going with you? Give me 2 players to go with you. Yeah.
Yo voy, párame. You're up.
Did you hear me what I said to you, Olivia? Did you hear what I said to you? Please? Okay, I have a lot of faith in you.
Somebody's shoes. I'm gonna sell them at a yard sale. Dang, I could have got $2 for him. Give us some tape for what lost. There goes season 1 as head coach. Gallegos. We're gonna get him next year. Print that.
Today, you are one step closer to becoming the adults that will lead Compton into a new era, the era of pride. Because today, each one of you has proven that the old Compton stereotype is false. It is probably the last day that many of you will see these halls, these people. But rather than just seeing the negative, recognize this moment for what it truly is, bittersweet. On one hand, we're finally getting out of high school, but on the other, we will soon face what our parents call the real world. In the real world, we will have to overcome new challenges, which many people out there will say that we will not be able to. We are from this moment on completely responsible for where we go in life, and the mistakes we make are now our responsibility to correct. The upside to this, when we succeed, we can have the satisfaction of knowing that we accomplished everything despite of all that was against us. For everyone planning to go to college, good luck. You will soon face many people smarter than you that are more prepared for the academic challenges that you will all encounter. You have one thing they will never have. You will have the benefit of saying, I came from Compton, a city infamous for its violence, but not for its excellent teachers. If I leave you with anything today, remember that right now you have a dozen different opportunities, and it is up to you to take them. Don't fear the future, don't fear change. If you stand still every time you're scared of something new, then the world will slip right past you. I want all of you to try your best. Don't go through life trying to become something you're not, because in the end, all that will get you is unhappiness. Be true to yourself, your values, and your dreams.
I present to you the Dominguez High School graduating